been with me since day one. I appreciate y'all. Those of you who just found the channel, I appreciate y'all too. Let's see. Let's start this poll. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let's see. Let's see. Who is at fault for drunk driving deaths? We're gonna put, is it the driver's fault? Bars and restaurants. Who is at fault for drunk driving deaths? Let's see. Make sure the question looks good. Who is at fault for drunk driving deaths? Option 1, driver. Option 2, bars and restaurants. And we gonna set this poll, baby. Yeah, Paul Pierce. Out there acting a damn fool again. This ain't the first time. And he got a habit. The man has a habit. He can't put that wine down. He can't put that juice down. And then when he does put it down, he put it down his damn throat and his damn stomach. Paul Pierce. He lucky he didn't. Well, now they caught him in LA on a highway. But the police were called. They had another accident. But just so happened as police officers were going to investigate, it was a 6-car involvement into another accident. But a little bit down the highway was Paul Pierce sleeping in his car. The man was sleeping in his car, and the police found him. They said when he came out, he was delirious. He didn't know where he was at. His breath was stinking. Looked like he hadn't bathed in about 4 weeks. He was smelling bad. He had that glassy look in his eye. Y'all been drunk before. Y'all been around drunks before. They got that glassy look. All kinds of sins in their eyes. And this goes to show you, no matter how much money a person have, their internal issues, they can't escape. Most people are prisoners in their own mind, prisoner in their own spirit. They're in a spiritual prison. They're in a mental prison. They're in an emotional prison. They can't get out. It's one thing we have external factors when you got people messing with you or the economy's bad. These are things that you can't control. You just grew up in a poor neighborhood. If you're a child, you can't control that until you're 18. You can do something, you can go to school and stuff. But a lot of things that we can't control, we just have to deal with, and it does ruin our day. But what about the things that are internal that you can't run from? You can't run from the lust that's in your mind and your heart. You can't run from your heart. You can't run from your mind. You can't run from yourself. Shout out to Nicholas. You can't run from yourself. So Paul Pierce, the reason why I'm saying this, because Paul Pierce, I would love to have his life. If I just had, and me, I don't want money because material things. I just want a lot of money, so I don't ever have to listen to be in a position to where I don't ever have to listen to another man. I'm too smart, I'm too intelligent, I'm too articulate to be listening to another man tell me what to do, unless it's a career path, unless it's a career path. But I just love having control over my own damn life. This is a wonderful feeling, and I love to create. To create costs a lot of money. You want to do music, you want to do, I want to do more skits. I want to do even more grand the news broadcasting. It costs a lot of money to get your stuff like crystal clear, high definition, great cameras, great crews, and you got employee people to really expand your brand. So that's why I just love to create, have all the money and clothes, and we can do this skit, we can travel and take pictures here. I just love to create. That's why I want a lot of money and investments too. Of course, you got to handle that money. You got to invest a lot of properties, a lot of stocks. But other than that, Paul Pierce is a multi-millionaire. Why is he so sad? Shout out to Willie Lynch, Willie D.A. Prophet. It's crazy in these streets. This man has enough money to feed his family, to feed generations for the next. Paul Pierce, I'm not counting his pockets, but I think Paul Pierce is around $100 million because he's still doing podcasts. His podcast is still big. He's still relevant. So he's getting that bag. So he has enough money for another 3 or 4 generations to come. The next 3 or 4 generations, depending on how big the family is, they won't have to worry about working. They won't have to worry about struggle. That's a beautiful thing to know, that your lineage and your family won't have to struggle. Paul Pierce is blessed beyond measures, but who am I to say he was blessed by God? A lot of these people that we see that are celebrities, they are blessed by demons, right? They are blessed by the devil. So if he is blessed by God, man, he has a wonderful life. He's a life that many people would love to have. Just not to worry and struggle, not knowing if you're gonna have enough money for your kids' school clothes, not knowing if you're gonna have enough money to take your kids out. I don't have any kids. I'm just saying in general. See a lot of poor parents struggling, not have enough money to take your kids to the movies. You can't. Next thing you know, you're 40. I can't do this. I'm poor. I can't do this. I'm tired of this. Damn, you're struggling. You're 50 now. Okay, you're still struggling. Your grandkids and grown up, and you're still in the same predicament. You're 65 now. Your whole life just went past you, and you're still in the struggle. And that's how the system wants the masses. What's up, Mix 3000? That's how the system works. You're gonna slave, and you're gonna get nothing for it, and you're gonna die off. Not unless you really do some soul searching and say, I'm willing to learn as much as I need to learn to get out the struggle. Do whatever I can to get out the struggle, because this is an absolute disaster. The longer you struggle, the more life you're gonna miss out on. So that's how I always looked at it. So Paul Pierce lives a life like, why are you drinking so much? He has a problem. See, the problem is not this nigga drinking. The problem is with this nigga in his personal life. What does he have some childhood trauma? Man, let's go to the poll real quick. Okay. The poll. Who is at fault for drunk driving deaths? 100% say driver. Woo, y'all on them drivers tops. And there's a lot of people who lost their family members to drunk drivers. It's unfortunate. A lot of people have lost their loved ones to people being irresponsible with that alcohol. Because my thing is, just like cigarettes, if drinking is so bad, how come they won't ban it in the United States? If we have all these drunk drivers, why don't you ban it? Do you ban the guns? Make that make sense. That most people are irresponsible with their alcohol consumption, and they dumbass gonna get behind the wheel and kill somebody. They're going too fast. Do you guys know alcohol impairs your judgment? Not only does it impair your judgment, it impairs your vision. That's why I stopped drinking. I haven't had hard liquor like shots. It's been years, y'all. Years. I don't drink that stuff because now the only time I drink it, I ain't gonna say I'm perfect. It was like a real special occasion. I haven't seen family members, and but even then, like, I take it easy. Like a little glass of some Hennessy, a little glass of some, say if it's like real expensive stuff. Only way I'm drinking it now is real expensive, and it's in very small consumption, because a lot of people don't know you're not supposed to drink alcohol like how the Hollywood movies portray. Hollywood just ruined people's lives. Hollywood is just Satan, because they show all these teen parties and kids getting drunk, and maybe if you're a kid, but even kids, I'm telling you, if you're a kid and you drinking right now, I'm telling you, that's not how, that's Hollywood image. Is not how you're supposed to drink. When you're drinking hard liquor, you're not supposed to take shots either. When you're drinking hard liquor, you're supposed to sip hard liquor. You're not supposed to slam it. And I hope some people take heed, or you guys watching, go tell somebody or tell a youngster, especially the youngsters, but you should be telling old folks too. Alcohol is poison. So knowing that it's poison, there ain't no around, I don't give a damn how good it tastes, it's poison. So if you are going to drink this stuff, drink it with class. Drink it slow. Sup, cheese cannibals? If the alcohol is so bad, then why don't they ban it? We have school shootings, right? And I'm a gun advocate. I love guns. If guns are the reason, because guns aren't the reason why people are being murdered, it's people. The gun didn't pick up itself and go kill 4 people at a school. It was a person. The alcohol didn't kill anybody. It was a person like Paul Pierce that picked up the glass of alcohol, consumed too much, and now he's behind the wheel. It's not the alcohol, it's not the gun, it's human behavior. So by their logic, alcohol shouldn't be on the shelves. If we want to save lives and we want to drastically reduce drunk driving deaths, then shouldn't we ban alcohol? They ain't gonna ban it because alcohol is a $1 billion industry. Back in the day, I'm not advocating for weed, not advocating for, well, no, I say like this: marijuana doesn't kill anybody. That's why it's so touchy. But the marijuana today, I just don't trust it. Before, I was never for making marijuana legal. Y'all hear me out? Marijuana should have never been legal. One, it's so crazy. We living in crazy times right now. How you gonna tell me I can't sell marijuana, but marijuana is legal to sell at a dispensary? So it's not the actual product marijuana, it's the control of marijuana. Right now in Texas, no, Texas don't have it, but some places, like say you in Colorado, say you got cheaper prices in Colorado. You know, not unless the laws have changed. I know in COVID there were so many different laws. If you're from Colorado, what is the penalty for selling weed on your own outside of the recreational or medical dispensaries? Recreational is just for fun. They have recreational for artistic values to have fun with. It's just something to do. Then they have medical marijuana for people who actually need it. They have a clinical diagnosis. So medical or recreational, can you sell a lot of weed in Colorado and not get a penalty? And if so, make that make sense. I can't sell it. It's a product that doesn't kill people, but I can't sell it, but these shops can. So that's why I was never for this, because it hurt. I'm from the streets. It hurt poor people's economy, because that's the one thing that didn't kill people. You know, it wasn't dope, it wasn't coke, it wasn't heroin, it wasn't ecstasy. Ecstasy is one of the worst things out there. It's probably worse than ecstasy, acid, or heroin. Because ecstasy has everything in it. It's compressed into a pill. You don't know what you're getting. I think ecstasy is up there, probably number 1 in my book. And it put holes in your brain. It's not ecstasy. It's not heroin. It's not cocaine. Hell, food. If most food is more terrible than marijuana. I mean, traditional, from the earth, naturally grown marijuana. I was never for government getting involved, because every time the government get involved, it dismantles. It's another way to limit poor people from getting some goddamn money, for one. And two, every time the government get involved, the quality of the marijuana has been terrible. If you don't agree with me, the only way you're going to get some real good marijuana, unless you go to a dispensary. But even the dispensaries, you know, I don't know, when we were little, I don't know how they were getting all this good weed in California. It was just abundant. And they got Humboldt County. They have a lot of counties that grow weed, and the California PD, the California state officials, they know it. They burn down the fields. See, every time you burn down those fields, they regrow, right? Then we're getting weed from Mexico. I heard Mexico growing that good stuff. So California grows its own weed, and we're getting it from Mexico. It was such an abundance of marijuana. That's why it's like the economy. I saw dudes buying cars with marijuana. And mind you, it's a product that doesn't kill anybody. You can smoke weed all day. All your punk ass gonna do is pass out and get hungry and get a little horny too. Some of that weed get you horny too. But I seen dudes get cars. I seen people actually have an economy, you know. And backwoods, you know, most people use swishers, and backwoods Swisher was making a lot of money, you know. So, but then when the government came in, I haven't smoked in years either. I don't smoke. I don't drink. Cause I need to get my mind's on money, but it's like mind's on God and money and family. But it's just like the government came in. Now you got all these different kind of crazy strands, and it's crazy now. When we was youngsters, I don't know where all this. Well, I knew where it came from, California and Mexico. It was just so abundant, and every time the government comes in, it cuts out an economy for poor people. Now we all have to go, and then they gave out harsher laws. It's just every time I just don't like government being involved with us. And then when when you do want the government to intervene and help us out, it's some bullshit. Anything from the government is not good. Government cheese. Welfare ain't there to help you. Welfare is there to enslave you. Let's go into the comments. Check out these polls. Let's see. It changed up a little bit. Who is at fault for drunk driving deaths? We got 93% say the driver, 7% say the bars and restaurants. And the bars and restaurants, they just there to make some money. Alcohol is big business. You know, will I ever sell alcohol if I own a restaurant? Yes. At the end of the day, it's business. But, you know, a lot of people don't go drink just to look cute. See, to look cute or be classy. A lot of people drink because they got a problem. I've never seen a person that drink alcohol and they really didn't have a problem, like a serious problem. Now, I could be wrong. Let's go into the comments, get some shout outs. I like to get shout out. Even if you guys don't agree, I like to shout y'all out. Oh, I forgot to put up my little gifts. Oh, see, I be rambling. Save. Got me some highlights. Oh, hold on. Give me some highlights. My highlight, because last time I did it automatically, so I gotta stop and ladies. Let's see. We got Mr. 3000. This is America. Freedom to brew booze. It's a right. Okay. Generic YouTuber user. Why isn't Batman a black man? Shout out to Kyler R. When I go to the dentist, he asks, do I drink? I say no. He says, I didn't think so. Shout out to generic YouTuber. Shout out to Ed Griffin. 40% of fatal car crashes are due to driving wasted on weed. What's that mean? Oh, let me crack this bit. Recent data, 40% of fatal car crashes are due to driving wasted on weed. So they were 40% of people were driving because of weed. Let's see. Newton, California weed is trash. I don't know. The weed was hitting back there. The number one place to get some weed back in the day, California. Check. Number one in the world. California had the best weed for a long time. Now you can get it anywhere, I guess. But for the longest, California. 2, Mexico. And number 3, Jamaica. No, Jamaica in the house. California and Jamaica, they was always competing. Who got the best herb, my nigga? But yeah, people just gotta be more responsible. You know, when you're drinking. You know, I never met anybody that, drinks constantly that didn't have a problem. I don't like things that have a hold on me, you know, but we all human. We all have something, even if it's not substances, we all have something that's holding on to us, whether it's lust. And I think those are kind of worse than substances, because you could just stop, you know, a substance. because the substance is your escape from whatever. But how do you escape something that's not a substance? How do you escape something that's emotional, that's internal, embedded in your existence? How do you escape something that's embedded in your existence? How do you escape your mind? How do you escape your emotions? How do you escape your spirit? Like you're spiritually something wrong with you. You can't shake it. You just try and do better. How do you change your perception of life if you always negative? You got hate in your heart. You just can't stand human beings. You're walking around bitter. You walking around with sorrow. Maybe you have a death in the family. See, these are the things that, how do you do all these things? See, drugs are just a gateway. Things are trying to escape. It's a method of trying to escape. They need to open carry for California. Shout out to James Arnold. I think James Arnold been on here before. Lady Whistle Gun. Everybody trying to escape. How do you escape? You're a prisoner in your mind. If you're a lustful man and all you think about boobies and breasts and ass, and you've been having countless partners, there's a problem. You have a problem with commitment. You have commitment issues. There's some issues going on up in there. Yes, all real heterosexual men, we find women irresistible. I myself find women irresistible. This is so, especially out here in Dallas, we have over 8 million people out here. And Dallas, North Texas has some of the most beautiful women. But there's a problem. You know, if you're always angry, if you're walking around with depression is a problem. You only smoking weed. You know, you only drinking because you're depressed. It ain't the weed. It ain't the alcohol. It's your depression. You're not happy. Why are you not happy? You woke up this morning. You got air. There's a lot of people that's in the ground right now. Right now, somebody just lost their life. Somebody just pulled the plug in the hospital. Right now, unfortunately, somebody did get hit by a drunk driver. Right now. Now, the ones that did make it, they're banged up. The ones that did not make it, they are banged up. Those of you just tuning in, appreciate y'all. We're talking about Paul Pierce got pulled over out there on the highway. He was found asleep by Highway Patrol out there in Los Angeles. Police were responding to another call. They say that they had a major accident. And as they were addressing and going to the first accident, another call was made. There was a car right there. There's a man asleep, and that man was Paul Pierce. He was in a Range Rover. In a damn Range Rover. So it's crazy, y'all. We just gotta do better. You know, put God first, God, Christ. Put the Holy Spirit first. Read that Bible. You know, be the best that we can be, and understand that we humans, we're all weak. We all share some type of weakness, but it's time to get strong. How about that? It's time to rely on a power that's all-knowing. It's time to rely on the power that's omnipresent, that's everywhere. And that's the beautiful thing about being a human being. It's okay to be weak. What's not okay is to be weak and not get no help. Starting with God first, and then, you know, go to your rehabs, and then change your environment. You got to start making changes in your life.